You are listening to A Quiet Mind. Hello. How often throughout the day are you thankful for everything that you have in your life? And I'm not just speaking of what we would call good or bad things, but let's try to drop the labeling of good and bad once again. And sometimes we can recognize that even something that we want to say is not the most positive experience, in a funny way, in a strange way, can turn into a wonderful teaching lesson. So, as easy as it is to be thankful and gracious for that which we have in our lives that we want, that we've asked for, that we believe to be of a more positive experience, let's try today to be thankful for everything that happens to us, whatever we want to label good or bad. But today let's practice being gracious in every moment, no matter what has happened. This was all inspired by one of our listeners who wrote in recently, and I want to thank that listener personally for giving me the inspiration to do this talk on gratitude and thankfulness. And that listener made a great point that using this tool was very, very helpful. And I believe that as well. And I have used it myself often. And funnily enough, often in moments of crisis, or when things are not exactly going exactly the way that I would like them to go, I try to look at this with some foresight in saying to myself, I'll look back on this and I'll say, I am so thankful that that happened in my life. I am so happy that that came along. And I want to know how many of you out there can remember a particular moment like that has happened in your life, where you are so thankful and so gracious that this thing happened to you and changed the course of your life or the course of your decision making. And let's look at the wonder of that and how miraculous it is that even things that we want to call tragedies, once we have had hindsight and we can look back, look and try to connect the dots to that to see how that coming into your life at that moment was actually a blessing in disguise. And with that, let's also look at just the wonder of being here right now, breathing in and out, experiencing this absolutely wondrous and miraculous life that we have. How beautiful it is, every aspect of it. Just take a moment right now and be thankful that you are here, that you are present in this moment, and that you have taken it upon yourself to do something that not everyone else out there is doing. And be thankful that you yourself have decided to make this a priority in your life, the self-study and the learning of how to quiet the mind. Just take a moment and look around and see what you have in your life. Now, there are times when tragedy is happening, and it's hard for us to be thankful for what we have. But in these moments, if we can pull ourselves out of our own misery that we're in, just for a moment, and be gracious and be thankful that we are just here right now, experiencing this beautiful and wondrous life. In that moment, when we can stop ourselves, when we can stop focusing on what we may want to label the negative, just for a moment, be thankful in that moment, it will lift you up. And this has happened to me many, many, many times. It will actually lift you up out of your suffering just by being gracious. Find the most simple thing that you can. Find the one thing that you can be thankful for in that moment where you are not feeling very well, where you are down, when you may be very depressed. You may have lost a loved one. We spoke of this before in another podcast. You may be having difficulty making ends meet. And seemingly this is a very tough world, and it's meant to be. It's meant to be this way, believe me. So we can go in, because this beautiful world and everything the wondrous that is happening to us, we are searching for something outside of ourselves. And in that searching, we struggle with different ideas of how to fill so-called voids or emptiness in our life. And the world sometimes gives it to us, and then sometimes, no matter how much effort that we have put into something, no matter how badly we want it, the world doesn't give it to us. So that's when we begin to look inward, inside. We're going to go inside for the answers. So when the world is being thankless to you, and you're not getting what it is that you want, or getting what it is that you need, or maybe you have a problem with your health, I want you to try to find one thing, just one thing, that you can be thankful for right now. All it takes is one thing. And it can be something as simple as, I'm thankful for my next breath. I am gracious. I am thankful for the fact that I have, maybe you have a pet in your life. Maybe you can be thankful for something as simple as the ability to be able to move about freely. The idea is that when we give our thankfulness, our gratitude, our graciousness, it makes it grow within us. If we see we can't look outside for an answer, we can't look outside for feeling good about ourselves, or feeling better, or feeling more at peace, or looking for that rope, like we're down in the bottom of a well of depression and we're looking for that rope to fall from the sky so we can climb up out of the depths that we're in. Finding a moment of pure thankfulness can take us from the lowest place that we can be in our life, right through that emotion, that feeling, that idea, that thought, into an entirely different energy. So all we're doing here is being aware that we have the power through the simple gesture of being thankful to take something and turn it around. And it's all up to us. Look around you, be thankful for whatever it is in your life that is presently there right now. Give thanks. Close your eyes and say simply, I'm thankful for this clean glass of water. It doesn't matter what it is. If we can find that thankfulness within the moment of the deepest, darkest place that we're in, what we do is we end up going right through that feeling into a feeling of bliss. Because when we feel this energy of thankfulness, of gratitude, what we're tapping into is that which is inside of all of us, the quiet space that is our true beingness. So embrace that. Embrace that in this moment with gratitude.